When it comes to full-size 3-row SUVs that accommodate 7, 8, or 9 passengers, yes, I said 9, it seats 9 if you want. Nothing beats the Chevy Suburban, except for maybe the Chevy Tahoe. Well, these have been updated and refreshed, and they have lots of great new technology. You're gonna have to wait a year. It's not until the 2025 model that they will start to roll into dealerships, but the changes are really good. Let me show you what's new for the upcoming 2025. I can't believe we're talking about 2025 Chevy Suburban and the Tahoe. First thing I'm going to show you is how they look a little refreshed. So we do have larger wheels. There are larger wheel options. The big thing you're going to notice though is right back here. Notice these tail lights, and they look white, don't they? But they actually do light up red when the brakes are applied. They're smaller and they're a little less pronounced than the prior model year, and they look great. On the front, we're going to see on the Suburban, this is the High Country Edition. Pardon my shadows, we're in this very brightly lit studio. That means lots of shadows. So we actually have a new grille here on the Chevy Suburban, and we have some new lights. We have these new sort of sleek little daytime running lights there. Overall, they add up to a really cool light signature that is new for 2025. I really like the height of the Chevy Suburban and the Tahoe for getting in and out. It's really comfortable. The height and the high ceiling make it easy to reach the third row. The hand grip here makes it easy to get out, and the running board makes it easy to just step right out. I really like that. So I want you to see if you can see this. When I lower the running boards, there actually is a reflection here. Do you see this light reflection here on the floor? That's because the running boards are lined with a puddle lamp. And what that means is when you approach the car with your key, you unlock the car, you open the door, and the running boards come out, there's a light on the bottom of the running board to light up the ground below. Such a thoughtful touch. The Tahoe Z71 is really outfitted for off-roading. It has a skid plate underneath. It has a red Z71 badge there. It has the red tow hooks there, and it has fixed running boards. You can get automatic running boards as an option, but for this off-road package, the fixed running boards are the thing. It also has these really large all-terrain tires. We also have these new headlights. This is the Z71 edition, and there are a couple of cool things here. Notice those red tow hooks. Well, it gets red. They say they're painted tow hooks, and that is to match the Z71 logo. So if you do like to tow, if you tow a boat, if you like to off-road, the Z71 or the RST, which is really more for having fun on pavement, is a great option. The Tahoe also has new taillights. They also are a little slimmer and a little more elegant, and they look really great. You can tell the difference between the Tahoe and the Suburban really because these are red and the Suburban's taillights are white. So notice how it sort of is almost like a split T and then reversed. It's linear here and then it cuts into the rear on both sides. The Tahoe and the Suburban both have those taillights, and they are super elegant. When you're driving down the highway at night and you drive up behind a Tahoe or Suburban, it's very distinct, and I really like that. What you'll also see here, and this is not new for this model year, but I'm going to show you, is the cargo space. So the Tahoe is the one with a smaller amount of cargo space. This one has 25 cubic feet of cargo space behind the third row and about 72 behind the second row. So if you put these seats down, you up that to 72. It's about half the space, or maybe about 75% more in the Chevy Suburban. Let's go take a look at that. Automatic gate close, we gotta like that. And new for this year is this. I didn't have to do anything except for stand here with my key, and the lift gate opens. I love that. So if you have your hands full of things and you just walk up behind the car with your key in your hand, the lift gate opens. If you don't want that to happen, you can actually turn that off in the infotainment in the multimedia system. Under vehicle settings, you can turn that off. You can tap the button and walk away. So you got to notice these lights. I just love these lights. I notice them in traffic all the time because they're really distinct. And you can see when I open the lift gate that they do flash red. That's because that's the color they are when they light up. Now, I'm going to move this. Look at these huge suitcases they have in here. That's because the Suburban has 41 cubic feet of space behind the third row. That's a lot of cargo space. I'm going to show you. They put these suitcases there to show you. And would you be able to close that, stack them and close it? I think you would. If you put down the third row, though, you have almost 100 cubic feet of cargo space. That's 94 is the number. Almost 100 cubic feet of cargo space. That's a lot of room. Should we see if we can close it with this stacked? Let's see if it gets knocked over. I don't think it will. I think we'll be able to do it. Let's try. Voila. So you can fit at least 4 of those, and those are bags that you would have to check because they are huge. What else do you get in the cargo area? Let me show you a couple of other things. Now, again, this isn't new, but it is interesting to know that this is what you get in the Chevy Suburban. So let me show you here. We are in the High Country Edition, which is the top of the line, and this one has push button rear fold seats, so you can push these buttons for the second row and the third row to put them up or down. And automatic lift gate. Some of the biggest changes, though, are right here in the front seat. It starts with the screen, it starts with the driver experience, it starts with more visibility. But before we get to that, let me talk about the elephant in this cabin, and that is this. This is my big ass tote bag. You've probably seen me carrying this around. I carry it through airports. It has all of my equipment, my makeup bag and everything. And look where it fits. And this, I have to tell you, this is a huge tote bag. Your Speedy will fit here, any sort of large handbag, a backpack, anything will fit right here. And it's super convenient. I really love this. Now, this is not new, but I just had to tell you about it because it's pretty cool. If you would like to put a smaller bag or smaller things here and still want space to put your an armrest, well, Chevy has that too. And then, if you don't want this at all, you can do this. Check it out. It slides up with the touch of a button. I love that detail. So let me show you again. Can you see that? So this whole console actually slides back to provide cup holders and amenities to passengers in the second row, or it slides forward. If you have a bench seat, you probably cannot have this because it's going to eat up leg space. But if you have captain's chairs, this makes all the sense in the world. So I have to say, I'm in love with this console. I could actually play with this all day, but that's not why we're here. We're actually here to talk about what's new on this screen and some great new features inside the Suburban that are also in the Tahoe. Let me show you. You can use this button to fold the third row. Just like that. Now, I've got the seats, I need to reconfigure the seats, but let's see if this one works. So it doesn't fold back up. Oh, it does fold back up. So I can push that button and I can fold the third row back up as well. Now again, not a new feature, but a really good one. What is new? I probably should get to that. So what is new is this massive screen. So we have a 17-inch screen here, and then we have an 11-inch screen here. And in our High Country Edition, we have this box here, and that actually houses the head-up display. So it's not functional right now, so I can't really show you what it looks like, although I hope to in a test drive in the coming months. And you'll see over here we have our four-wheel drive modes here. I love how Chevrolet just tucks them over here. They don't really need to be front and center. We do have the lights here. We have the trailering here, so they've continued that really great trailering package. We have some of our driver assist features over here. That also is we're used to. The Chevy Suburban and Tahoe get a whole new steering wheel for 2025, and that's because of this. No longer is the gear selector a lever or a push button. It is actually something you might recognize from Mercedes-Benz and a few other cars. It's gone right back here on the stock. So you push it up for reverse, down for drive. You push the little button here on the end to put it in park. It's all pretty elegant. I also love this. Hey Google.
To do that, you'll need an internet connection.
Okay, so I can't use that feature now, but the entire operating system on this multimedia system is by Google. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but the operating system is built by Google. But you'll see here there's the Assistant, the Play Store, and some other things. You'll be able to connect to your favorite podcast, news. Here is Amazon Alexa, My Chevrolet, GM Bug Report. Oh, you can report bugs. I love that. And there's your entertainment hub. And then there is a camera system, which I'm going to show you. And this is where you're going to connect your phone, and then you have maps. So the whole system has been completely redone. We have seen this in some of their other vehicles to date. It makes me think of the GMC Hummer and the Cadillac Escalade. So a lot of those great features are now making their way into the Suburban and the Tahoe. Another thing that you'll see is right here, and I can't demonstrate it because we're in a studio, but see this bar here that's on the top of the steering wheel? This indicates that this car is equipped with Super Cruise. And now Super Cruise has been available in the Suburban and the Tahoe, but not at the lower trim levels. Now it's available in all except the base trim level. There's another feature over here that I'll show you, and that is, now I can't, it's not functional, but this live view mirror. So we love the live view mirror. And what this is will give you a video view when you tap it that way and a reflective view when you tap it that way. The car's not on, so you don't really get to see it. And then this whole console is all new. So we have our climate control here. There's our buttons. There are nice vents there. There's a wireless charge pad there. We have USB standard and USB-C ports, room for other things here, and then of course our cup holders, and then this beautiful center console. So there's actually quite a bit of space in here. There's also a drawer, so if you want to pull things out and stow some things in there, hide away a few things, that's where I would keep my AirPods so nobody else will take them from me. One thing that you'll notice is the dashboard is lower. And I love that because look at how high this screen is. And instead of the dashboard coming up to the height of the screen, it actually is a little bit lower. So that gives you a sense that the cabin is a little larger than it is. It feels a little more open and airy. Also notice this. We have a really nice large panoramic sunroof. So that sunroof does not cover the third row, but it does add a lot of light and a very airy feeling to the interior of the Suburban. With the center console slid back like that and into the passenger space, it actually comes right up to where my knee is. So there's my knee, and here is the center console. So you can see there is a household outlet, there are USB ports, there's HDMI ports, and there are climate controls right here. It's nice to have the center console slid back to make room for my lovely handbag, because then it also gives me a place to put my phone, and it gives me 2 cup holders. So lots of cup holders for everyone right here in the center row of the Chevy Suburban. I know I told you that this car can seat 9 passengers, and yes it can. You can actually get a bench seat for the front. You don't have to give up all of the things that Chevrolet has figured out how to accommodate some of the things here so that you still have charging, you still have all of the features that you get, you just don't get all the storage, but you can get a bench in the front row so you can seat up to 9 passengers. So what does that look like, seating 7 or 8 passengers in the Suburban and the Tahoe? Well, let me show you captain's chairs, and I'll show you also the best configurations for installing child passenger car seats. Now, I didn't bring my child passenger car seats to show you how they install, but I did bring my tape measure. So I'm going to show you, first of all, there's a tab here on the front, on the side, and you just pull this lever, and that is how the seats move forward and back. I'm pushing this one all the way back, thinking about installing a rear-facing child passenger car seat, and here's how much space you have, one seat to the other. You have about 32 inches, so between this seat and this seat. If you have a screen here, that actually eats up a little of that space. That makes it about 30 inches. Now, this seat does have some flexibility in the rear, so you can recline. So you can recline this quite a bit for either for taking a nap or for a tighter installation of a child passenger car seat. Can you access the third row with a child passenger car seat installed? That is the next question. And the answer to that is probably no, because it does not slide and tilt. You can move the seat forward a little bit, but you're still not going to get a ton of space for accessing the third row. The way that you would access the third row is by, there we go, flip and fold. So can't do that with a car seat installed. If you're using a booster seat, then that is something that you can easily move, but you can't access the third row with a child passenger car seat installed. Configuration wise, if you are opting for the captain's chairs, then probably the best configuration would be for a rear facing child passenger car seat on the passenger side, a forward facing child passenger car seat on the driver's side, and then if you need boosters, you can put the boosters in the third row. There are two or three sets of lower anchors, so full latch sets in the center row. In the Suburban and the Tahoe, we've got 2 here because we have captain's chairs, but there are 3 if you get the bench. Now, what does the installation option look like for the third row? So I'm going to actually flip and fold and go into the third row the easy way. So there are no latches in the third row. It's easy enough to get in, but if you're going to install a child passenger car seat, you need to do it only using the seat belt. There are no lower anchors in the third row. So I know it's probably a little hard to see because it's very dark in here, but these seats are each really wide, and I'm going to show you how wide they are because I have my tape measure. So this one is from edge to edge. It is about 19 inches. The center row seat, edge to edge, is about 18 inches. So you have 18 inches to work with if you need to put a child passenger car seat here in the center. And even some of the larger ones, the Britaxes and the larger child passenger car seats, are going to fit rear facing on this seat. Probably what you want to do is put a rear facing here and a rear facing here, but here's the catch. This is a 60-40 split, so you can move it up or back. And we measured that before, it's about 32 inches. But if you want to put the seat down, this is the one that is the single. Normally I would say put your rear facing child passenger car seat there on the passenger side, but in this case, if you're installing 2, you're not going to be able to do that, or you're not going to be able to access the third row. If you're never using the third row, you need 2 rear facing child passenger car seats, great. And you might find that you really only need to do that for 6 months or so before you can turn somebody around to be forward facing. But the only way to access the third row is the flip and fold. And so now you see that this is the 60, there's the 40, and so if you're going to put 2 of them together, 2 car seats together, it would be right here. If you want to put 3 car seats across in either of these cars, that would work too. I love that there are lower anchors here, by the way, but there are no anchors, no lower anchors in the third row. This car's so big I can kind of just walk right through. Isn't that crazy? However, I will say this car is super tall, so walking in the pass-through to get into the third row is really easy. You don't have to crouch down too much. For 2025, they've added a few more exterior details, a few more interior details, and a lot of great technology. But additionally, there's a lot that's standard now that you had to buy the upgrade for in the past. So that might be worth holding out for the 2025 model year. However you slice it, this is the SUV to have for the family that needs seating for 7 or 8 or 9 passengers and maybe over 100 cubic feet of cargo space, definitely 40 cubic feet of cargo space in the Suburban, 25 behind the third row in the Tahoe, enough room to carry everything you need to take with you.